What's going on, everybody? We're going to be going back live just momentarily, all right? So hang tight. Welcome back to the Shukri Wrights Show. This is Shukri Wrights. You're listening to 91.5 FM WMFO Medford Tuskegee Farm Radio. We just had on college football analyst Nick Ficcarelli live on the show just a few minutes ago. Phenomenal segment for those who are college football fans and conversation. Definitely a terrific interview as we look ahead to the 2019 college football season. But instead of looking ahead, we're actually going to look at the current right now. We were talking about the Red Sox earlier in this show, and we're going to talk about Dave Dombrowski in particular. We're going to talk about Dave Dombrowski because the fact of the matter is this. When you are an organization who has a $240 million contract, a $240 million payroll, excuse me, and you underperform, someone has to take the fall. There's no question about it. There's no question. And what makes this even worse is that when you continue to try to sell the fan base and the media the absolute ridiculous rhetoric that, for example, the bullpen has been fined. And by fine, what exactly do you mean? You mean fine as in that you've led the major leagues in or tied the major leagues in blown saves as a bullpen? You mean that fine? You mean the same fine in which that you have had guys who have underachieved in the bullpen, and also to add insult to injury. I get not signing Craig Kimbrell again. I get that. I understand not signing Joe Kelly, letting him walk in free agency. I understand. But the fact that you decided that you were not going to replace those two, and you have this very cavalier attitude, frankly, it pisses me off. It pisses off the people who follow this team religiously. You want to tell me, for goodness sakes, day in and day out, every time you've met with the media, some made-up excuse, expecting us to suddenly be gullible and believe whatever nonsense that you put out there, that, hey, it's not my responsibility. The players, they got to go out there and do their jobs. I'm trying to be nice. The more I've listened to this man, the more I watch some of his from the press conferences that he's had, I honestly cannot help but think this man is a legitimate con man. You are a con man to the people who have followed this sport as long as you've been in the game and know what it takes to have a successful team. This was a team that you brought back. You brought this team back at the end of the last year's World Series with the expectation that they will be able to repeat. And here's the problem. Right now, they're out of a playoff spot. They're 5.5 games out of the second wildcard spot entering today. And it doesn't help that you're also 15 games out of the division. Here we are entering mid-August. So what does that tell you? What does that honestly tell you? Management absolutely deserves to have a fire lit underneath their tails, including ownership. And this goes back to a point that that I mentioned last night in an exchange between myself and some fans. That if they were to trade Mookie Betts, who would they get back in return? My thing is this: how about letting go Dave Dombrowski? And I'm not one that wishes ill upon another person or for his job, but when you deliberately fail and refuse to acknowledge the team's number one weakness, you've got to go. You've got to go. There's no excuse. You've had how many opportunities since last offseason? You had December. You had January. Heck, you had November. You had spring training when there was a plethora of quality major league talent waiting to be signed. And you did absolutely nothing. What does that tell you, Red Sox Nation? Be honest. Be honest with yourself for a moment. Be honest with me. So my question I'm posing to you this morning is this. Do you think that Dombrowski deserves to keep his job at the end of the season, regardless of how it plays out? Because you have a major problem on your hands right now. You have an absolutely big problem on your hands. Number one, I said it on the show today. I said it in the show weeks ago, inconsistently. Your bullpen absolutely blows. Your farm system sucks. It is atrocious. And the challenge to Red Sox Nation is still out there. That number one, you need to address that farm system in the worst way. And like I said earlier in this show, and I'll say it again, to the point where it will make you squirm, and I don't care. That number one, the Yankees, your arch rival, they've got you beat in that department. And oh, by the way, the prospects that they brought up in the last few years, Severino, Aaron Judge, Gary Sanchez, I mean, they've performed. They've performed and they've become bona fide stars. What do you have to show for right now? I understand that, yes, Alexander Bogaerts, terrific shortstop. He's good. He's good at what he does. Michael Chavis, the jury is still out on him. No question. The jury is still out on him. He's a rookie. We'll see how he does in the next couple of years. Mookie Betts, I understand that he was drafted, developed, came up as a Red Sox. So there's an emotional attachment there. But here's the thing. I'm not in the business to get emotionally attached. And I personally feel that if we're going to be completely honest about this, that if Dave Dombrowski needs to be back or not, I think he needs to go. Because the reality is this. There's going to come a point where you need to absolutely overhaul that farm system. And Dombrowski is not known for that. In fact, he's known for destroying farm systems. You want proof? What are you talking about, Shukri? Well, here's your proof. Go look at the Detroit Tigers right now. Go look at the team. Go look at the farm system. When he was there, and it wasn't that long ago that he was in Detroit. You brought Dombrowski here to win a championship. Congratulations. You did, at the expense of shredding up your farm system. That was your expense. I mean, my goodness. Coming up next, we're going to continue this baseball conversation, but we're going to have Samari Benjamin live, sports journalist and radio host, coming up on the show next. This is Shukri Wrights, and this is the Shukri Wrights Show, and you're listening to 91.5 FM, WMFO Medford, Tusk Free Farm Radio. By the way, I'm going to keep this live on right now because we are going to have Samari Benjamin join the show coming up next, live on the air. So I'm going to leave this on for you guys to watch and enjoy. So stay tuned. You should be calling in anytime now, basically. So just hang tight, all right? Thank you. And by the way, thank you to all of you who have tuned in. Bibbin, are you serious, bro? What do you mean if I'm serious, Bibbin? Explain. What do you mean by that? For those that are just watching live on Facebook Live, like I said, I have there he is calling right now, as a matter of fact. Hang tight. Good morning. It's Samari. What's going on, dude? How's it going? It's good. Talk about being riled up already at almost 8:30 in the morning on a Saturday. Oh, man. I'm ready whenever you are. I'm about to come back live on the air in just a moment, all right? No. I'll put you on hold. We're on break at the moment, but we're about to return in about like maybe a few seconds or whatever. All right, hold on. I'm gonna put you on hold. Welcome back to the Shukri Wrights Show. This is the Shukri Wrights Show. You're listening to 91.5 FM WMFO Medford Tusk Freeform Radio. I am now joined live by sports journalist and radio host and an old friend of mine, Samari Benjamin, who joins us live on the show. Good morning, Samari. How's it going, man? I know, and especially last night. I may no longer be in New York. I mean, from one native New Yorker to another, but I definitely have kept tabs on the Mets, and what they're doing right now is, I mean, even as a longtime baseball fan, it's quite special what they're doing right now. So let's talk a little bit about that. Yeah. Yeah.